Hi friends, I'm Nire and it's so nice to have you here. In today's video, we're spending the week reading together. I have a very ambitious weekly TBR that I would like to get to before the end of the week, so we'll see how it goes. I'm currently reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and this is actually a book that I still have left over from last week's TBR. So I was supposed to read it before today, but I just was not able to finish it, unfortunately. So I'm kind of hoping to finish it today, but we'll see. I'm currently in chapter 12, page 132, so I feel like I could potentially finish it today. I'm really enjoying it so far. If you didn't know, this is a thriller about two boys, Ethan and Billy, who decide to sleep in a tent and do like a little makeshift camping situation in one of their parents' backyards. And during the night, Billy gets abducted and Ethan has no idea who took him. He just wakes up and Billy is not there. And now we're in present time and we're following Ethan, who is already 40 years old. And some new things are coming up in Billy's case, and just like things are starting to open back up. And there's a lot of secrets that are starting to get revealed. And I am very much intrigued and hooked into this one. I am very unsettled. There has been some kind of scary moments. I have been reading it mostly during the night, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been really spooked, and it just makes me like start looking around in my room to make sure that I'm still alone and there's nobody around here and everything is fine. But I am having fun. That is why I read thrillers. So that's what we're starting this week. I definitely have a lot of reading ahead of me, so we should get started reading. This book is just so creepy. I could never. The second that I sense that something is going on, I'm getting the hell out of there. I'm not gonna try to investigate anything. I'm leaving. If things were crazy before, things just got real right now. And our main character apparently doesn't care about his life. Just running around trying to figure out things. Like, man, stop. It's not gonna end well. I know it's not gonna end well. Alright, so quick reading update. I'm currently in page 172 of Middle of the Night. So far, it's still creepy, it's still very unsettling, but I'm having a good time. I am gonna stop reading now though, because I'm gonna start dinner, and I usually listen to an audiobook while I'm cooking dinner. And unfortunately, I don't have the audiobook for this one, and I also don't have any audiobooks available for any of the books that are on my weekly TBR. So we're gonna have to pick something else. And right now, I have 3 audiobooks on Libby that I can choose from, but I think I'm gonna pick The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. I've heard good things about this book and I've been interested in reading it, so we'll see what I think about it. I think that it is a YA dystopian, and from what I know, because I'm usually not sure what my books are about before I pick them up, so I usually give out like a completely different synopsis and what the book actually is about. But I'm pretty sure that in this one, the world that we're following, when girls turn 16, they're taken into like the woods or something. I don't know what they're doing in there, but apparently it is dangerous because not everyone comes back home. And I don't know, again, it sounds interesting. I've seen people talk very highly about it, but yeah, I'll definitely keep you updated with anything else that I read today. I want to try and finish Middle of the Night today, so we'll see. I mean, I don't think I'm even halfway into the book yet. Like, I'm almost halfway, but I'm not quite there yet. But I think that I could possibly finish it today. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best, because like I said in the intro, this is a book that I should have read last week. So, but yeah, I'll talk to you later with a new reading update. Good morning, it is the next day. I'm gonna start getting ready because I have to film a couple videos for my TikTok. If you didn't know, I have a book talk where I upload a bookish video every single day. So definitely check it out if you want more bookish content from me. I will have it linked in the description down below. And so I thought that I could give you a little bit of a reading update while I get ready. Alright, so I thought we could start talking about The Grace Year, which is the audiobook that I started last night while I was cooking dinner. And I am, I believe, 38% into it, and so far I'm actually really enjoying it. Definitely reminding me a lot of The Handmaid's Tale. I feel like it definitely has a lot of similar themes going on. I believe I told you a little bit of the plot of the book, and I said when a girl turns 16, they are taken to the woods, and that is actually true. Who am I? I know what a book is about before I pick it up. Crazy, I know. But basically, they're taken into the woods because they want them to release this so-called magic that they have before they can come back to the town, so they can become wives and mothers and just completely submit to society standards and, of course, the men in their lives. Just where I feel like the correlation to Handmaid's Tale comes in. And right now, where I am in the book, they are already at the woods and they're just basically trying to survive because they literally just like throw them in there without anything. I think they have like a supply pack and that's it. So they definitely have to start, you know, gathering food and making sure that everything, you know, there's a system in place. And our main character, unlike the other girls, has some survival skills because her dad taught her some. And because they're not supposed to teach girls anything about life, none of the other ones know anything about it. So they decide that our main character is going to become kind of like their leader. However, there is this other girl who is kind of like this typical mean girl, popular girl, and she's like very against our main character. And so she says that the girls had to choose between following her or following our main character. And now there's two groups, and that's pretty much where we are right now in the book. So we'll see what I think about it when I eventually finish it. I am, like I said, 38% into it. So I do plan on continuing on listening to the audiobook while I cook dinner tonight, because that's usually when I listen to my audiobook or if I'm doing anything around the house. So I'll keep you updated with any of my future thoughts on that book. All right, so I also have an update on Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I unfortunately did not finish it yesterday, but I did get quite a bit into it. I'm currently in page 306. I am about like 50-ish pages before I finish it. So I am most definitely gonna finish it today. And unfortunately, right now, I am not loving it. If I just did what every single person does and read the back of the book, I would have known that this is actually a paranormal thriller, but I didn't know that. So I went in thinking that it was just going to be, you know, a mystery about a person who did something to this little boy Billy, and we just have to figure out who did it and who's doing all this weird stuff now that we are like 30 something years after his death. But apparently there are some paranormal aspects to it, and that definitely turned down the creepiness aspect for me. I just don't feel as creeped out or as scared for paranormal things that I do with like real life situations, which sucks because I love thrillers because they scare me. They, you know, have me at the edge of my seat. They have me, you know, thinking of theories and things and what's going on and who did it and whatever. And I feel like right now it's just like a little bit less exciting because of that. But either way, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's not something that is completely ruining my reading experience, but it's also like not adding to it. So right now I think that I'm sitting at a 3-star with this one. It definitely is going to depend on the ending, whether or not it's still a 3-star or if it goes up to a 4-star, or if unfortunately it gets lowered down to a 2-star. Like I said, I do have to film a couple videos today, so I'm not going to be able to read during the morning, but later today we're most definitely going to be finishing this one. Okay, some things have just been revealed. They just keep bringing up some different things that I just don't want to know about. Like, I don't really care about these things. Like, I don't need to know that he did that. I don't really need to know that. I just need to know who took Billy and like what happened to him. Just tell me what happened. We've been at this for quite a bit now. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's just finish this book. I am done. I finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like that ending. I didn't like the reveal. At some point in this book, I just felt like it was never ending. I kept reading and reading and reading, and it just never got any closer to the end. There were so many side plots for no reason. Then we started getting reveals left and right for things that we didn't really need to know. I guess sometimes in thriller books, they do give you like a fake reveal, and then when they actually tell you who it is, it's like more impactful or whatever. And when we finally actually figure out what happened to Billy, I don't know, it was just kind of underwhelming. I had suspected the person at first because there were some things that they were adamant about that I was like, why are you so like adamant about this situation? But then again, because this book just was never ending, I just like forgot about it. And then when they explained it, I was like, okay, I definitely saw that coming, or at least the person that did it. But the actual thing that happened, again, it was just kind of underwhelming. I just didn't like the execution of this book. I feel like it has such a great premise, and it just really wasn't developed as well as it could be. So I think that unfortunately my final rating for this book is going to be a 2 stars. I don't know if I just don't really enjoy any other books by this author other than The Only One Left. I really enjoyed that one. But then I read Lock Every Door and it was okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And now I read Middle of the Night and I don't like it. So I don't know if I should keep trying with this author. I think that I have one more book from them on my TBR. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have. But yeah, that's it for Middle of the Night. We officially finished our first book. Finally. Oh my God. I never thought that I was going to finish this one. I swear it was just never ending. Now, of course, we still are listening to the audiobook of The Gracier. I'm still going to be doing that whenever I have a chance to listen to it. I'm going to. So I'll keep you updated on that one when I do have any new things to talk about. But for the next book that I'm going to read from my TBR, it's going to be A Daughter Forged in Fire by Jessica Lee. I'm reading this one for a reading challenge that I'm doing over on my TikTok. It's a summer reading challenge created by my friend Chanel, and I, of course, had to take part of it. And that is the next book that I have to read for that challenge. So that's why I added it to this week's TBR. It is a Tennessee, and it is under 300 pages, I believe. So hopefully that book is not going to take us long to read, and hopefully I enjoy it much more than this one. Hi friends, good morning. It is currently Wednesday morning. I literally just woke up, but I have quite a bit of a reading update for you guys. Yesterday I was able to start A Daughter Forged in Fire by Jessica Lee. I am like 35 pages into that one, so really I haven't read much of it, so I don't have any solid thoughts on it just yet, but I just wanted to let you know that I did start it. And then last night before bed I also read a little bit more of a book that I actually haven't talked to you guys about. Similar to Middle of the Night, this is another book that I had on last week's TBR lineup, but I wasn't able to finish it, so it's not part of the official TBR lineup for this week, but I'm still like reading it here and there. And I haven't told you the name of the book for some reason. It's called The Stonewall Riots by Gail E. Pearson. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I am 46% into this one, so I definitely think that if I read a little bit of it every single night before bed, I can eventually finish it. If you didn't know, The Stonewall Riots is a nonfiction book about what happened during the Stonewall Riots. It's been a very informative read because I didn't know anything about the Stonewall Riots before I read it. And then moving on to yet another book that I'm in the middle of, The Grazier. I'm still listening to it every single time that I cook dinner, so I did listen to a little bit more of it while I cooked dinner yesterday, and I got like 10% more into it. I'm 48% into the book, and I don't have any new things to say about it because so far we're still in the middle of the woods. We're still trying to survive, and the girls are dividing themselves into different groups, and things are just, you know, quite the same. Things are of course happening, but I cannot go into it because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but the same things are pretty much happening. They're just like trying to survive during, you know, the Grazier. So now not only is it also giving me Handmaid's Tale vibes, but it's also giving me Hunger Games vibes because they're trying to survive in this like arena woods thingy. So but yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been a good listen while I cook dinner and stuff. And now at this point you probably might be thinking, those are way too many books. Why are you in the middle of so many? You have to start finishing them. And to that I would say, yes, you're correct. You're most definitely correct. But also, I want to start this book right now. I know that I shouldn't start another book, but I just cannot wait any longer. I have to read this. If you follow me over on my TikTok, you know how much I love Six of Crows. I talk about it constantly. I really cannot go another day having this on my like actual bookshelves. I can see it every single day. It's right there. Like it's literally my bookshelf is right there. Like I can see this every single time that I'm in my room and not read it. I have to. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I don't think it's going to take me long because I'm going to show you the format of it, because instead of like an actual book with chapters and stuff, it's told throughout letters. It is called A Darker Shore, Letters from Ketterdam. So you're just like reading letters that I'm guessing the crows wrote to each other. And of course we have gorgeous illustrations, and I am so excited to get into this. You have no idea. The fun thing about this is there's also like interactive things. Like there's this little envelope that I'm guessing is going to contain a letter, but like you can actually open it up and then get the letter yourself. So before I start my day, before I go and do anything else, I think I'm gonna sit down right now and I'm just gonna have a little reading session and just see how far I can get into this, because again, I just have to read it. So don't judge me. I know I should be finishing books, not starting them, but come on, it is Six of Crows. You have to give me a break. First, I just finished the book, and then I also just opened this last little envelope, and it was filled with so many things I have to show you. We have this little like club ship. Like, are you kidding me? That's insane. Oh my god, I'm about to cry. I'm literally about to cry. The Crow Club playing cards, and they're all aces. Look at this. What? And then there's more. There's a sticker. This is the tattoo that they get. The dregs get this tattoo to signify that they're part of that gang. I don't know why I'm getting so sentimental over a sticker, but I am. We have reached that point. And then we have a letter, and I think it's from Liber Dugo. It is a letter from Liber Dugo. Let me read it really quickly. She just said, "Someday, I hope to write another novel that brings them all back together." There's still hope they were gonna get a third Six of Crows novel. There's still hope. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that we finally have more things from Six of Crows. And then this letter is gorgeous. I'm gonna cry. That's not the last thing. The letter wasn't the last thing. We still have one more. We also have this flag right here. This belongs to a character called the Wraith. Are we serious right now? Like, this is everything that came with the book. I can't. And also, I totally forgot to mention, there's like some sort of like mystery code in this book, and you can decode it using the sheet music that I showed you before, but I wasn't about to do that. It seems like it's going to be a little bit hard, so I just Googled it, and oh my god, I love these people so much. 5 stars, by the way. Absolutely 5 stars. I'm gonna put this all back in the envelope because I don't want to lose it, and we'll see what we'll do with them because I am most definitely going to be displaying all of this stuff somewhere. So we're done with the Six of Crows book. We can officially check off a book from this week's reading lineup. I'm gonna go get ready because I do have to film a video for my book talk. Middle of the Night by Riley Sager was chosen in one of my TBR takedown videos that I do over there, and so I have to now film another TBR takedown video and see what other book I'm going to be reading for that series. Whatever book is picked today, I'm not gonna read this week. I already have quite a few books on my radar, so I don't need to add any more. So like I said, I'm gonna go get ready and all that, and while I do that, I think I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook of Grace Year, and then later on today I'll continue reading A Daughter of Fortune and Fire and The Stonewall Riots, and of course I'll make sure to keep you updated. Hi friends, it is 9 p.m. and I would like to get a little bit of reading done before I get ready for bed. And like I said before, I'm currently reading A Daughter of Fortune and Fire by Jessica Lee. I'm currently in chapter 5, page 47, and so far I'm not loving it. I'm not hating it, but I'm also not loving it for some reason. I just feel like the story is a little bit all over the place, and for some reason I really haven't been able to fully get immersed in the world. I'm still gonna power through it. I want to read it. I want to finish it. I rarely DNF anyways, and I know that I have to work on that. I know that it's not good that I make myself finish books that I'm not enjoying, but I don't know. It's a thing that I do, and I do want to finish this one, so we're gonna finish it. I do want to sit down right now and read a couple more pages. I would like to reach 100 pages before the end of the day, and then I'm going to stop, get ready for bed, and I'll read a little bit more before I go to bed, and we'll see if the story after the 100-page mark gets a little bit better and I get more interested in it. I just remembered that I never really told you what this book was about. Oh, we have a guest. This is Roxy, by the way. But like I was saying, I just remembered that I never told you what this book was about because I didn't know what this book was about myself. I didn't know anything about it. If you've never seen any of my videos, you're gonna see that that is a thing that happens a lot. I usually never know what my books are about before I pick them up. I have a vague understanding of what they are, but I never really truly know the plot of them. So this is a fantasy book where we're following our main character, Renan. She's a fae and she lives with her grandma, who's also a fae. So she has basically magic powers. It reminds me a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender because she can like firebend and airbend and earthbend and all that. And apparently in the world that they're living in, fae are very much unliked. Nobody wants them around, and even the king wants them dead. So they are basically in hiding, which really doesn't make sense to me because the other species are mortals, and the fae are immortals right now. Our main character is like 116 years old and they have magic powers. So shouldn't it be flipped? Shouldn't like the mortals be afraid of the fae? Again, the story doesn't really make sense right now. At the point that I am in the story, our main character Renan and her grandma got ambushed by a bunch of mortals, and so they got separated, and Renan started to run into a forest, and now she doesn't know where she is. She's lost, which is kind of weird because we just got a passage saying that she's again 116 years old and that she has explored this forest for pretty much all her life, so I don't know why she's lost in the forest. And then we also have the perspective of Rowan, our male main character, and him and his dad are swordsmiths for the king, so they make the weapons that eventually end up killing people like our female main character. So I don't know, we'll see. Again, I'm hoping the story picks up. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading with hopes that it will eventually start to get better. Hi friends, I'm finally back home. I haven't talked to you guys today because I've been out pretty much all day. You just saw a few clips of me going to the movie theaters to watch Hadestown, and it was amazing. I highly recommend it if you are a lover of Broadway shows and musicals. It was phenomenal, definitely so worth it. But like I said, I just got home after having a lovely day out, and now it is time that I log in because I have to finish A Daughter of Fortune and Fire tonight. Yes, I know, it is actually 9 p.m. right now. Like I said, I've been out all day. today. So I haven't read a single page. I'm still in page like 70 something because yesterday, unlike I said I was going to do, I did not reach page 100. I was way too tired. I just got ready for bed and immediately went to sleep. So we still have quite a bit to go in that book. And as for a reading update for that book, so far I'm not completely loving it still. I don't know. It's still a little bit confusing. I feel like I'm still kind of thrown in the world and I haven't been really explained much. And I just feel like the story again is just all over the place. Our main male character went through something very horrific and then like 5 to 10 minutes later, he was just like having like this banter with our female main character and it was more like flirty. And I'm like, okay, like did you just forget what happened to you a few minutes ago? I don't know. I'm not really loving the story. So I don't have high hopes that I'm gonna rate this one highly. And like I said before, I literally just got home. It's 9 p.m. So I'm just gonna decompress. I'm gonna go do my night routine, get ready for bed. And then I swear we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna read. Again, I'm hoping to finish it tonight. But you have heard me say that before. So, you know, anything can happen. Hi friends, happy Friday. I haven't talked to you guys at all today, but I do have quite a reading update for you. I finally finished A Daughter Fortune Fire by Jessica Lee, and similar to what I said in my last update, I still did not like the book after I finished it. I just feel like the story was all over the place, the writing was clunky, the story just went by so fast that I just couldn't fully immerse myself in it, especially the romance. The main characters met and literally like 5 minutes later, they are totally in love with each other, and overall, it just was not the book for me. By the end, I just really was dreading reading it and I just wanted to be over with it. But yeah, at least that's over with and we can move on to our next book. I think that I'm gonna pick up Our Sister's Keepers by Jessica Lee. This is a horror historical fiction book, so I am really hoping that I'm really gonna enjoy it. I feel like it's gonna be one of those books that are really impactful and one of those books that you just really feel and it's something that sticks with you for a long time. At least I hope it will. But right now I'm actually heading out to go to the beach, just sit down and just see the sunset and just enjoy nature and whatnot. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any reading done, but I'm definitely gonna start that book later on tonight. And then also when we get back, I'm going to try and make some cookies. We'll see how those turn out and I'll be sure to let you know when I start my next book. It is currently midnight. That's why I'm whispering, because everybody in my house is asleep and I probably also should be asleep, but like I said, really want to try and finish my weekly TBR this week. So I'm going to read until I can literally not read anymore and I have to go to bed. I do have a reading update for you guys because I finished yet another book. I finished the audiobook for The Grace Year and I am happy to report back that I enjoyed it. I think that it did handle its themes very well, but there were some parts of the story that I didn't quite enjoy and I didn't even think they were necessary. Like there's a romance in this book that I was just like, why is this even here? Like I don't think it's necessary for the themes of the story to, you know, fully come through. There were some parts of the book that I also would have cut out. I feel like it was way too long and there were some parts that dragged on and didn't really add anything to the story. But overall, it was a good one. It is young adult and I feel like if I would have read it when I was like a teenager or something, I would have really enjoyed it, possibly even given it a 5-star. And because of that, I ended up rating it a 3 stars. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to talk to you guys about. So now we're gonna lock in, we're gonna sit down, we're going to read until we can literally not read anymore and I just really need to go to bed. So wish me luck and let's hope that I can get quite a bit into the book before I need to go to bed. I had a feeling that this book was going to deal with themes like the patriarchy and misogyny and stuff like that, but it still pisses me off so badly whenever a fucking man wants to underestimate a woman. Absolutely not. Right now, our main character just told this random guy that she's a journalist, and he literally laughed in her face. What do you mean you're a journalist? A lady journalist? That's not a thing. But her husband, as he should, stood up for her, and he was like, excuse me, sir? She graduated from the same university that I did. She is a journalist, so you better back off. And did you think that he backed off? Of course he didn't. He doubled down and he was like, your wife, she should know how to cook, right? She knows how to take care of a home because that's what women should do, right? But then her husband also didn't back off and he said, my wife is not a servant. She is a college educated historian and a journalist with a skill set. Exactly. So you better back off. You better shut up because things are not gonna end well. And that was just chapter 2 and I'm already mad. So I don't know. I think that this book is definitely going to test me, but hopefully just like now, the people that need it will be put in place and it will not be tolerated. Okay, so we are officially done with this weekly reading vlog. Today is Monday and I spent the entire weekend trying to finish Our Sister's Keeper by Jasmine Holmes. And I'm so glad to say that last night I was able to finish it. And guys, this book was phenomenal. This book is set in a town in Mississippi in 1927 where Black families are safe and are encouraged to, you know, get married and have kids. And it just seems like the perfect utopia town. And then one day a married couple, Thea and Kid, decide to move to the town. So they're thinking they're going to move into this perfect town where they're gonna feel safe and they're gonna be able to raise their family. But when they get there, Thea starts to hear this like very awful screaming and she starts to see this woman who look awful, like they just went through the worst thing they could ever go through, and they're just like screaming at her and asking her to help them, and it's just like this very horrifying experience. And so of course she starts to feel like something is weird with the town. She's telling her husband like, we need to get out of here. And not only that, but right when she gets there, she starts to experience sexism. She is a very well-educated person. She wants to continue her career in journalism and teaching, and she is a very ambitious woman. But unfortunately in the town, the women are very much encouraged to stay at home and be housewives and mothers and forget about their ambitions, forget about their, you know, careers and stuff. And this also makes it so Thea doesn't feel welcomed and safe in this town. In contrast, her husband Kid is feeling amazing in the town. He feels like he finally found the place where he belongs. He feels like this is a place that he wants to raise his children, and he just really doesn't really get how Thea is not loving the town as much as he is. And then we're also following Mara, who is a carrier woman, because basically the town is as carefree and as great as it is because this woman carried the burden of the men. When a man feels burdened by absolutely anything, they go to this woman and they literally take on their burden for them, and so they feel free, they feel happy, they don't have any negative feelings towards anything that had happened in their lives, which of course have awful side effects for the carrier woman. And when they take on burdens, their bodies physically feel and show whatever it is that they're taking on. So for example, if they are taking a burden about somebody who fell and broke their arm, the carrier woman will most likely also experience the pain of breaking their arm, and their arm might actually be broken after the session that they have with a man and stuff like that. And everything that I just told you is just like the surface level of this story. So many more things go on in this book. This was just an incredible written story. This book at the end of the day is about women. It is about resilience. It's about their strength, their determination to live and to be and to survive. If you love horror books with a little bit of magical realism and you like to read books about female rage, I would most definitely recommend you pick up this book. It is phenomenal. I would not be shocked at all if this one ended up being on the list of one of my favorite books of 2026 by the end of the year, because again, I must repeat myself, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. You definitely must read it. And that is it for today's video. That is it for today's reading vlog. And out of the 4 books that I had on my weekly TBR, we read 3, which is not bad at all. I am definitely gonna take it. I think we did pretty well. But that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a fun time following along as we read together. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And also, if you have not done so already, don't forget to subscribe. And also, don't forget to follow me on my other social medias. I upload a bookish video every single day over there, so definitely check it out if you would like to see more bookish content from me. And with that being said, I'll see you in my next video.